From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Sulaiman Al-Leader.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, federal government and Boko Haram representatives agree on ceasefire as the CDS directs all officers to comply. The presidents of Nigeria and Ghana hold talks on common challenges, especially on security and the Ebola spread. National Information Center says ceasefire is in the interest of peace and that all captive and the girls are alive. And international deployments and aid for Africa's Ebola-hit regions of Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea yet to have impact on the epidemic.
And on business news, the Naira weakens to 165 Naira 35 kobo to the US dollar as investors rush to repatriate money to safe havens.
On sports news, Super Falcons of Nigeria beat Namibia 2-0 to remain in perfect condition to reach the semi-finals of the African Women Championship.
We begin tonight with the ceasefire agreement reached between terrorist group Boko Haram and the Nigerian government. Now, following the meeting between the representatives of the federal government and the terrorist group in N'Djamena, Chad, the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Badeh, has directed all service chiefs to ensure compliance with the ceasefire agreement. The CDS made the announcement at the end of a meeting between chiefs of the Nigerian and Cameroonian armed forces, where both sides agreed on collaboration in communication, intelligence sharing, tactical partnerships, and handling of internally displaced persons. It is gathered that the deal, which is coming as a surprise to many Nigerians, was sealed after 1 month of discussions mediated by the President of Chad, Idris Deby. Part of the agreement requires that the details concerning the release of the Chibok girls will be thrashed out at another meeting in the Chadian capital next week. The negotiations are said to have the support of Boko Haram leader Abu Bakr Shekau. The Boko Haram sect launched the violent attacks after the killing of its founder Mohammed Yusuf by security forces in 2009. Meanwhile, thousands of people have been killed in the insurgency, which has lasted for 5 years.
Without any prejudice to the outcome of our 3 days interaction and the conclusion of this forum, I wish to inform this audience that a ceasefire agreement has been concluded between the federal government of Nigeria and Sunna Lidda'Awati Wal-Jihad. I have accordingly directed the service chiefs to ensure immediate compliance with this development in the field.
Well, after the meeting with both sides, the Director of Defense Information, General Chris Olukolade, confirmed that this directive of the Chief of Defense Staff is already being enforced.
The Chief of Defense Staff has given directive to all the service chiefs to ensure that it is complied with immediately on the field, and that information or directive has gone to the troops in the field.
And we're expecting that Boko Haram will drop their arms from now?
Well, I don't speak for them, I speak for the Nigerian Armed Forces. We are going to comply because the federal government has entered into an agreement in that respect.
Who will web this truce? This is fire.
This is equally political, and I will not make comments here.
Does this ceasefire involve Cameroonian forces as well?
No, it's between Nigerian government and the Sunna Wal-Jihad.
General Olukolade also gave more insight on the areas covered by the ceasefire.
This meeting, like you heard in the communique, focused on definite issues of coordination, issues of management of prisoners of war, issues of management of refugees and displaced persons, and certain matters that concern operations at the tactical and strategic levels were resolved, and the details have been ironed out to assist the operations of both countries in the field.
But the operations are, well, there's a ceasefire at the moment. What is the implication of that announcement on this meeting? Because this meeting is supposed to affect the operation, ongoing operation.
No, but you had the Chief of Defense Staff specifically make it clear that this development is without any prejudice to the outcome of this meeting. The meeting is specific and it will last in any transporter operations that might involve the two parties.
Well, moments after this meeting, the meeting, Channel Television broke the news this morning when we got confirmation from the Voice of America correspondent Umar Musa in Saudi Arabia, who got wind of the meeting. Our foreign news correspondent Amarachi Ubani spoke to him on telephone just a moment ago.
Two meetings took place under the chairmanship, as I mentioned, of the Chadian President Idris Deby. And during those meetings, he was able to broker a deal which led to the release of some Cameroonians and Chinese people, about 15 of them that were released by Boko Haram insurgents. And in the same vein, it's expected that they will also issue similar, verdict regarding the Chibok girls that were abducted, over 200 of them. I think this is the latest information available that, yes, the fact that such meetings were able to facilitate the release of some abducted people from Chinese and Cameroonians, it means also they are committed to relieving the Chibok girls and many other issues, especially the case of ceasefire, which was announced, as we mentioned, by the Boko Haram group and the Nigerian authorities.
On what grounds is Boko Haram negotiating this ceasefire and the release of the Chibok schoolgirls?
You see, the meetings or the negotiations have been taking for some time. Actually, according to sources, the Boko Haram particularly involved the Chadian president to broker the peace deal between Nigerian government and them, considering the past experiences they had, which they claim that Nigerian officials betrayed similar efforts to broker peace. So in this case, it is believed that with the involvement of the Chadian president, there's a lot of commitment and seriousness on the part of the Boko Haram, which led President Goodluck Jonathan to accept a meeting twice when he sent his principal secretary, Ambassador Hassan Tukur, to represent him during all those meetings. And another one that will finalize the release of the Chibok girls is expected to hold anytime next week, early next week.
Now, staying on the federal government's deal with Boko Haram, the coordinator of the National Information Center, Mike Omeri, says the sect has given assurance that the Chibok girls are well and safe. Mr. Omeri, who further confirmed that there's been discussions between representatives of the federal government and the sect, added that members of the group have expressed willingness to embrace peace.
The center can confirm to you that there has been contacts between the government of Nigeria and representatives of Boko Haram. The discussions are essentially in relation to the general insecurity in the Northeast and also the need to rescue all captives of the terrorists, including students of Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok. From the discussions, the terrorists indicated their desire for and willingness for peace and to discuss and resolve all associated issues. They also assured that the school girls and all other people in their captivity are alive and well. Already, the terrorists have announced a ceasefire in furtherance of their desire for peace. In this regard, the government of Nigeria has, in a similar vein, declared a ceasefire.
Well, there's no doubt that the activities of Boko Haram has taken a severe toll on the nation, claiming thousands of lives and properties, especially in the northern part of the country. Now, our next report takes a look at the operations of this group and the effort made by Nigeria's security forces to bring the situation under control. Our correspondent, Ogechukwu Onsi, reports.
They have continued to wreak havoc, mostly in the northeastern part of Nigeria. Militant Islamic sect Boko Haram continues to spill innocent blood through a wave of assassinations, abductions and bombings, which has led to the death of hundreds of people and properties worth billions of naira destroyed. Boko Haram has been in resistance since 2002, believed to have been formed by Muhammad Yusuf, who led the group until he was reportedly killed in 2009. After his death, Abubakar Shekau became the new leader, and under his watch, the group staged more audacious attacks in the north and central parts of Nigeria, including bombing churches, bus stations, bars, sports viewing centers, and the headquarters of the United Nations in Abuja. Amid growing concerns about the escalating violence, President Goodluck Jonathan declared a state of emergency on May 2013 in the three northern states of Borno, Yobe and Adamawa. But this did not stop the attack on two boarding schools in Yobe and Chibok, Borno State, where more than 200 schoolgirls were abducted. It's not been an easy ride for the sect, as the military always put up a strong showing, leading to the recent killing of the purported leader of the group.
And our operations are not just on land. Our operations is also on air. All these areas are within our operations, and operations are ongoing.
The federal government has just reached a ceasefire deal with the militant group after a meeting which is also geared towards the release of the abducted girls. Now we can only watch and see how things play out. Ogechukwu was reporting for Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, more on the ceasefire agreement, and we'll be joined in a moment by Professor Femi Adegbulu. Stay with us.